Wilds of Suburbia. I am your host, Chad Everett Broshears, also known in certain circles as Seb, apparently. So, okay. All right. Today's episode is on to be liked or to be disliked. Also, to like or to dislike somebody. Since I work in a people business, I work with the people commodity. Helping direct, guide, and develop people, I've come across specific types of conversations often, and it's not always what they're saying, it's the context in which they're speaking from. So one of the most consistent contexts that I've come across is this idea that you're not supposed to have people dislike you, and or you're not supposed to dislike people. So hence the title of this particular video. There's a cost and benefit to pretty much everything that we do. Cost and benefit about being liked. Well, it depends on how far you go into it. Now, the benefit of being liked is obviously clout, reputation, opportunities for specific types of favors, support of all different types. And then there's also a cost to it. And the cost to it can be restriction of your truer desires, your ability to interact with people in a way that is really sincere or honest. Long-term consequences aren't necessarily always in the front end. I mean, yes, obviously the opposite of everything you get that would be normal benefits that I mentioned previously. You also get long-term consequences can be loss of your own autonomy, and programming or training people in your life to see you a certain way. Being that they become dependent on your behavior to be in such a way that they don't think they feel that you've broken their trust when you finally act to your truest nature, your most sincere, genuine reactions. It's okay to have somebody dislike you. It's also okay to have somebody like you. It's okay to dislike somebody the same as it is okay to like them. To do it for another means is a form of manipulation. If you're doing it simply because that's the way you genuinely feel and you're okay with declaring it, be responsible, obviously. Don't just go around going, as soon as you feel you dislike somebody, you just say it, I dislike you. Or you do some sort of action that would follow suit of that particular mentality. Look deeper. Ask yourself why you dislike somebody. Put that out there. Why exactly is this person, why do I not want to like this person? Could it be envy? Could it be jealousy? Might you have misunderstood an interaction you had with that person? You'll get more opportunities for your own life if you do it this way. You'll also create more opportunities for other people. Far too often I come across, especially the entrepreneurs or the younger entrepreneurs, that believe that they're going to do it all themselves. The same thing goes with people that say that they're the ones that did something specific in the world. Like, I'm responsible for this, I'm responsible for that. You may have had a very big part to do with that particular outcome. Say you created something specific. Like you've created a particular widget, product, or something, or a service that's unique. You created it. There will certainly have been other human interactions that have brought you to that level of conclusion. Now, you being the prime mover is understandable, and there's credit where credit is due. Then there's the other values, which is how did you become inspired? And are you shunning the individuals that inspired you? Obviously, it's a complex insight. Now, you will have other variables. You might have actually created it out of spite. You might have created it out of envy. You might have created whatever that is out of just the simple desire to want to be stable at some point in time, or some place in your life that creates enough comfort that maybe you'll have enough money to pay your bills and all your bills. Maybe a little extra for people in your life or for your future. You're paying into your future by accumulating more now, preserving more for you to make an easier life. all of those things are not a negative. They're the whatever it is inspired you to get to that point. But how did you come to understand that that is something that would be an outcome you wanted? Some of the simple pieces are, perhaps you just noticed that your neighbor has something that is more comfortable. Perhaps it's a luxury car and you're still, you're dealing with a 20-year-old Honda Corolla. I'm sorry, that's a Toyota Corolla. Don't hold that against me. Or do. It's okay. But how we conceive the ideas for what we want our future to look like will come by way of others kind of giving us the understanding, whether they have or have not that thing. It does still have a contribution coming from them. Another value that can be put in is, if you have somebody who looks up to you and you want to continue to have them look up to you or show them a way, you want to be a guide or some sort of leader, that individual is also part of the process. So what I'm getting to here is to have people like or dislike you. You can take something that's a dislike and turn it into a like by creating an understanding. Why do you dislike something? Or you can turn a like and a dislike by understanding also, why do you like something? It could be you like somebody, but the reason why you like them is on the surface, and from your level of perception, the person has misled you, but you don't know it. So you feel that you're in a good spot, you're happy about the experiences that you're having because you're not aware of the deception, you're not aware of the lie. And you can take that like and turn it into a dislike by getting a specific amount of information, whether it's self-analysis, looking back at the experience you had, and that created a degree of insight, or somebody told you, and it finally fractured the illusion. For people that really want something, it's easy for them to live in an illusion that really turns into becoming a delusion. Now, it's not hard to do that necessarily when you understand, an individual's desires for something in specific. I myself may have these insights. I choose not to use them out of vice. It's more of, I'd rather that everyone makes a mature decision for themselves and has a better outcome. But there are those that see it on the other side, which is they want to be able to use anyone and everything that they can, or certain timelines in their life where they use people to get a leg up. So this will fall into the like and dislike category. If somebody tells you that you need to like everybody, watch out for that person. You can value everyone and not like everyone. You can value things in somebody you don't like, learn from, and develop that thing. This is one of the reasons why I'm so staunchly against, this is one of the many reasons why I'm against the cancel culture. Cancel culture is a cancer for opportunity, for growth, development, and it's the I'm offended, therefore you don't have a right to live as you do now. And I'm absolutely against that. If you think about things in history, how many people in history are you told to dislike? And you'll be given the reasons to dislike them simply because of those reasons you default that you should not like that individual. But that also comes with a package value of dismiss value, dismiss opportunities for learning, avoid it. Famous people of history that you can think of that you were told that were bad people. I'm not saying worship those individuals by any means. I don't really think that we should worship anybody. You can use specific living idols or an idol of history to help cultivate yourself, which is what people try to pull from quotes. And when they put certain quotes out in their life, whether it's on their wall or whatever it is, Christian Bale just fascinates me, by the way, as I point back over my shoulder because he is on my wall. But that movie in particular is just a fascinating insight into psychology and the descent into madness based off of the idea of accumulation. The American concepts of being the best, and what happened in the 80s and how the movie was actually placed in a time period was the insanity that comes from isolation because of a class value, being in a very high paid position, or a more powerful position with more employees under you and creating this division, like a class division, which created an isolation for him. And then he lost, whether he lost his mind in the movie. Now, that doesn't mean that he didn't have a predisposition for it, but that predisposition could have been exaggerated simply because of the experiences that he had, which had these isolations with these desirable worship concepts and the envy that people would show, which is, you've really accomplished something great, or you're in a good spot, you're in a desirable spot, I wish I would be there, something like that. And that created an isolation because it reduced relatability. It was a desire with relatability, but not necessarily relatability for him, Christian Bale, in the movie. It was more for the individuals that were wanting to be where he is in his work position. So we can derive value from a lot of individuals. We can derive value from the tyrants of history. What was it that they used in order to get to that position? What types of development did they go through? What were the motivators? How do you take somebody that starts off with a altruistic or virtuistic type of beginning, and they become a villain by the end? It's the same concepts. If you're familiar with the show, and no spoilers here on this one, I'm pretty sure that most people have watched this at this point. In Game of Thrones, there is a particular woman in it that is the Dragon Queen. She amasses this massive army. She uses the opportunities of freeing people and giving them some sort of purpose to live into versus just servitude for an individual's service at a low level just for comfort, which is what the slave masters were looking for. And she created a liberation and a freedom to those individuals so that they could, experience something. They unified under that. And by the end of it, what was shown through the series was how you take a victor and a champion, a hero, and turn them into a villain. And that's because of different variations of things, but it can come from the narrative also of being told who you're supposed to support and who you're not supposed to support. And as you continue to create this insulated type of a barrier between you and other people, the more alone you become because you exclude people. And the people that do end up making it in may have their own agendas, and it's harder to see those agendas because you have fewer people to help expose that. And if they're working against your particular desires or working with your desires against you, it could create more of a delusion over time. And then with that can come resentment and then the souring of a human being. So it's absolutely okay to dislike people. It's okay to like them. It's just better if you understand and you're responsible for how you came to that understanding. You will be told that you are to dislike people that would become your best friend. It happens in our life. You'll be told to dislike somebody that may become a partner of your life, or even your life partner in a marital type sense, or it could be some degree of a friendship over time. There are so many different variations. My thing is not to inherit somebody else's position. Even whenever I tell people about my experience with somebody, I like to put the disclaimer out. Just because this has been my experience is not intended that it become yours. By all means, please understand the person from your position. Don't take my position into account, or it's not don't take mine into account. Don't make my position your position. Don't inherit mine. These are the things that I experienced. These are the things that you would do better by looking out for, but it doesn't mean that you should not have that sincere, authentic reaction. It's more for you. You should build those relationships and not allow other people to tell you how to appreciate someone. So, now these newer videos are intended to be a bit shorter simply because of I'm using a different platform that does give me a particular time frame. So I will honor that. I will say that I'm going to go ahead and close this episode up. Please share this video with a person in your life you know that will benefit from it. Comment in the comments section. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever these videos go live, as well as subscribe to the channel. My name is Chad Everett Bro Shears, or Seb. by circles. This is growing up in the wilds of suburbia. Until next time, I look forward to our next one. Remember, we're all in this together. Enjoy.